Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we focused a lot on the changes in the New World. Now it's time for changes in Europe. And let's see how this whole idea of international trade has impacted Europe a little bit. We're going to start off here looking at changing social structure. That social structure has changed quite a bit as part of uh, this European system. So, first off, we're going to divide into two sections: the urban section, or the cities, and the rural sections, the countryside. So, we'll start off here. The urban part, it grows, it gets a lot bigger, okay? Because we have merchants, these bourgeois, who are become wealthy and powerful. Because guess who's doing all the trading? That's right, the merchants. And the idea of being able to spend money, make money through spending money, investments, those kind of things becomes a huge deal now at this time. You do see some loss of skill in the artisans. Okay, the idea of how can we mass manufacture goods for trade is a bigger deal than making a handmade good. So we're going to start seeing some movement toward industrialism. Obviously, we're kind of stopping here at 1648 during period one, but by the end of the 1700s, so less than say 150 years later, we're going to see the Industrial Revolution begin. That's going to be a big thing. We do also a lot of laborers in the cities as well. Low skill, low wage. And so these low skill, low wage laborers are going to be the people who end up working on ships, working in the shipyards, those kind of things. The idea is that with education and wealth, you can move up. You can attend universities. You can do those kind of things that gets you a little better life. Rural wise, things stay pretty much the same. We talked about at the end of the 30 Years' War, how because of this new idea of serfdom and the manorial lords in Germany still have a lot of power. While many peasants did own land, it's hard to pay that amount of land. There were a number of landless workers, and we'll see something called the robot that exists later on in Austria and Germany, where it's that idea of feudalism. Yeah, it's very similar to the encomienda Spain does in the New World, where you work X days for the Lord, the rest for you. These things still exist in the rural part of Europe, as this whole movement takes place here. Going on here, we do have the idea of inflation. We've touched on a little bit here or there. Now, with Bullionism and with bringing all this gold and silver in from the New World, there was an increase in the amount of gold and silver that existed. Now, earlier, there was too little money chasing too many goods. Okay, that's part of the idea of inflation. When that happens, prices go up. Okay, so the issue is that you have a little bit of money, a lot of goods. That little bit of money is very, very scarce. Here's a problem. We bring all this gold and silver over from the New World. Now we have too much money chasing too few goods. The value of money goes down, that prices have to go up. It's like if we start printing out a whole bunch of money, okay? And that aristocracy kind of starts falling apart, right? They start selling off parts of their land to pay their bills. And guess who can buy that land? Yep, the bourgeois. These are the middle class merchants who now are going up and up and up that social ladder because they got money. Money becomes a big deal. And inflation is a big part of this whole thing. There are some good parts to inflation, though, okay? We don't see gold be the only metal used in Europe now. Now it's silver, too. Talk about the Potosi mine and mines in the New World and how those mines bring all this new bullion over. It does allow for more trade and the idea that precious metals and coins, those kind of things, become a bigger deal. So, trade's a good thing, and inflation is not all that bad in terms of those things. We do see things like the enclosure in England, where with the rich buying up land, the public land starts being lost. So originally in England, the way it worked is that in a village, the poor would have these public grazing lands and farmlands, where you share fields, share grazing lands. Well, as this land gets bought up, it gets fenced off and enclosed, okay? And the poor now lose that public grazing land, farming land. So if they can't graze their animals and raise their crops on the public land, they're kind of in a bad situation. They end up moving to the cities, becoming low-wage laborers. Whereas see this pick up in the mid-1700s as it leads to our Industrial Revolution, and it'll become a big deal there. We do see new industries and industries is a good word for it, okay? Think of it more as new ways of making money, okay, especially for that upper class. The banking industry becomes a huge deal. And so you gotta make sure that you do this, okay? The church, you're getting really chill on the whole usury, the idea of money lending for profit, right? Church kind of chills on the whole thing, which means that banks start lending money to everybody. Rich, poor, royalty, it doesn't matter, all right? And now these rich people are doing this kind of control a lot of power, because not only are they lending money to the peasant trying to buy their farm, they're also lending it to the royalty trying to make the next expedition overseas. And they can control some background. Jacob Fugger and his family are huge. I read an article where he basically says, hey, guess what? If you're not going to pay back my loan, I'm going to give my money to France instead. And so they kind of, have a lot of power here and wield a ton of power because they have money and they're loaning money. Same thing. We see the rise of the Medici in Florence, right? Same kind of deal because of money. We also see people that are now the professional businessmen in joint stock companies, those that will invest based on risk to make money. And so that's our big thing here, is that a new way of earning cash, right? By investing. We also see the first insurance companies come around too. Obviously, risks are big here, and you're investing a lot of money into businesses, corporations, whoever it might be. And so here we have some of the first insurance companies that help mitigate risk and losses and make money that way as well. And so, we see these new ideas coming through here. Last thing, short video, okay? The diet of Europe changes. We talk about this whole idea of the Columbian Exchange, diseases, impacts, all that kind of stuff, right? The diet of Europe starts to change, okay? The potato is a big part of it. We talk about the potato being a very big part of European diets. You go to Germany, Poland, Ireland, the potato, a huge deal. It's full of cheap carbs and energy, and that way it's perfect for that lower peasant class. Anyone can pretty much grow a potato. And in fact, you have a couple of potatoes today, a little bit of milk, you can have enough calories to live for a day. And a potato becomes a huge part of a staple, if you will, of European diets. Tomato in Italy revolutionized the cuisine once they got less afraid of it and figured out to add it to pasta and pizzas and those kind of things. The rich also really enjoyed the fruits of exploration. Luxury goods were big at this time. Things like pineapples were treasured goods. Tobacco for the rich. They can still smoke the little pipes, all that kind of stuff. Vanilla and chocolate. The Swiss were really smart. They took this bitter, nasty chocolate stuff that was nigh inedible, and they added a little milk to it, a little sugar to it, and made milk chocolate. And now all of a sudden you can eat it. Tea, coffee, all this kind of things became a big part of diet. And not only does your food even now, a bigger way now, show your class, but you make money off that kind of stuff too. I'm going to ask you guys a question in class. Probably on Thursday we're talking about this question, but who is impacted the most, do you think? And looking at all the stuff that happens, is it Europe or the New World? That's a question you need to decide, ladies and gentlemen. Who is impacted the most? Let me know. That's about it. Thank you very much.